Good afternoon, YouTube. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Hello, how you doing? How's life for you? Fucked up? I bet it is. Uh, just a kind of fucking news update. A combination of what the papers and the media say and what the fuck is going on Saturday, the 26th of September. There's a lot going on, but it's all the same stuff. It's like living in Groundhog Day. You wake up, and the same shit is happening. The same tune is playing on the media. Da 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 bump da 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 da. Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Are you afraid of dying? Well, you should be. You ought to be. We're working really hard to make you afraid of dying, so that you will suck up all this shit, pish, and bollocks we are dumping on you. Are you afraid? Are you afraid to die? Most people are, and that is what they are relying upon. And so, live in fear and die in debt, I once said. But in fact, it's now more like live in debt and die from fear. As your government, my government, governments around the world borrow their way through, not out of, borrow their way through this self-generated crisis. There really is no problem. The coronavirus is not going to kill enough people for me to have to breed with my sister or your sister. In fact, I'm going to repeat again, the global death statistics are about 5,000 a day, and they have been for 4 months. Anyone in your government or the media telling you that some kind of horrible pandemic is unfolding is a lying cocksucker. I'm mincing my words there. Let me put it more forthrightly. They're a cocksucking liar. There is no global pandemic. There is a virus. I'm not saying there's no virus. Really, I'm not. There is a virus, just like one of many viruses. HIV, malaria, dengue fever. There's lots of viruses on Earth. They kill people all the time. If the media wasn't full of, oh, be afraid, you wouldn't give a fuck. There are no dead bodies piling up outside my house, or your house, or anybody's house. A steady trickle, a handful, a tiny, irrelevant amount of old sick people are dying from this virus. So if you think that justifies your government locking you up, denying you your freedom to associate and protest, you're a fucking moron. And I've been out on the street. There's lots of fucking morons. It's like invasion of the body snatchers out there. It's too late to stop them. The alien moron fucks have taken over the brains of nearly everybody I see on the streets, in Scotland, in England. If I went to America, perhaps it would be slightly different, because, you do have that kind of fuck you and fuck the government thing going, which I envy. And at the moment, both the American government and the American people should serve as an example to the rest of the world of how to deal with this pish. Say it's pish and refuse to go along with this pish. That's what to do. I am not having this pish. But anyway, I digress. Let's go through the media pish as it's coming at you today. In Birmingham, the army is to be used by the Birmingham City Council for door-to-door coronavirus testing. Nice. I've always wanted to have a knock at my door and find an armed representative of state force there, making me take a test to find out if I've got some antibodies for something which we've probably all had by now, so that they can force me to, be locked up or have some vaccine knocked up in their kitchen last night. So a couple of interesting things that are going on. Vitamin D can help body's defenses. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the world of vitamins, let me just run you through a few things. Scurvy and rickets, both diseases that you get if you have low levels of a particular vitamin in your body. Vitamin C gives you scurvy, or rather the lack of vitamin C gives you scurvy, and the lack of vitamin D gives you rickets. If that weren't enough of a recommendation for you to get some, it turns out that enhancing the levels of vitamin D, and I would suggest other vitamins if your diet is poor and consists of refined foods, will be good for your health and will prevent you dying or getting sick from the coronavirus. So just doing my bit, just doing a little public service there. Get yourself some vitamin D and some vitamin C and other vitamins you can't miss. And whatever they've got planned for you, or whatever the virus is, its effect on you will be considerably lessened if you are healthy. And conversely, if you're old and sick, tough shit, you're gonna die. Because that's who dies from the virus. In the UK, 7,000, here's the headline, 7,000 new virus cases as rate of infection climbs. But I think that this headline should really read the following. Thousands of new virus cases as rate of testing climbs. The more people we test, the more people, oh my God, we tested millions of people and some of them had the virus. It's a pandemic. Because you have the virus isn't a problem. It really isn't. The hospitals are not full of people with coronavirus. They're not. Old people are dying because they're old and sick. It's a shame, I know, but that's life, isn't it? And so that's the fear element. The fear element that they want from you is for you to give up all of your freedoms for the notion that something bad might happen to you or your elderly relatives. So, be afraid, be very afraid, and do exactly as you're told, whilst your government ruins your economy, ensuring years and years of poverty, homelessness, and austerity for your nation, as if it's part of some grand plan. We'll come to that later. Here's another headline. Government borrowing hits record high to battle COVID. I would suggest that this headline should read, your debt hits record high to baffle COVID. How will the Chancellor pay the bill for his plan? By printing money and getting you into more debt. You will be living in debt. Sandy McNabb, good afternoon. You'll be living in debt wherever you are for a considerable, I would venture, for the rest of your life. Your nation's debt is going up, up, up. Couple of reasons. First of all, the economy's totally fucked, and there's no way of, there's no way of making it unfucked while the government foists this bullshit on you. So some stuff that you should be concerned about, though, genuinely, not the fake fear of the current COVID-19, but here's a little story. Boris Johnson speaking to the United Nations General Assembly. A bunch of liars and thieves and cunts. The General Assembly of the United Nations. He will announce a 5-point plan to help the world cope better with future pandemics. Future pandemics? I thought this one hadn't finished yet. You mean there's going to be another one? Hold on to your hats. He is crafting his 5-point plan with the help of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The plan is intended to detect pandemics and tackle infections more quickly once they take hold. Wait a minute. If they've already taken hold, you have failed to deal with them quickly. But let's see what it's really about. It reflects concerns that the next pandemic could come in a virus which is just as infectious as COVID-19, but significantly more deadly. In essence, I like this story. I don't want to make you more afraid than you already are, but I like this story. COVID-19 is actually a failure. It's a failure because it's not killed you. The fact that you're still here, if you have tested for, or if your community has got high levels of testing, in it for COVID means they have failed. They have failed. And so they are planning, it says here, concerns the next pandemic, the next one, will be just as infectious but significantly more dangerous. I predict right here and now, and I will bet you £10 or $10 or 10 of whatever unit of currency there is in your country, that COVID-21, COVID-20, COVID-21 is coming. It's just around the corner. It's currently in a vial somewhere in a lab in Wuhan, and they're looking at it and going, we think this one kill more people. This one kill more people. Last one not kill enough people. Mr. Johnson will propose a worldwide network of governments investigating animal pathogens, and suggest that companies should ramp up manufacturing of treatments and vaccines so they can be quickly rolled out in the event of the next pandemic. There you go. They're already planning the next one. And if you thought you were going to protest about that, forget it, because they've got protests sewn up as well. First of all, if you want to protest in a group of Okay, are we back? I hope we're back. So, the most visible opponent and protesters of the lockdown are possibly the least representative, says here. Leaders of the group who claim Jeremy Corbyn's brother Piers Corbyn and David Icke. This is debasing the opposition. This is a technique of debasing opposition where you get some total fruitcakes, some complete fucking arsehole lunatics, of which Piers Corbyn and Jeremy Icke are the king and queen of total fucking loons. Honestly, this is like having pedos campaign for a change in the age of consent. Honestly, David Icke doesn't believe in reality. Piers Corbyn doesn't believe in climate change, which marks him out in my book as a total fucking moron. David Icke will tell you that aliens are doing it in order to terraform the earth so they can come and live here. There won't be a fucking atmosphere that supports anything more complicated than a bacteria soon if we keep on with industrially reprocessing our atmosphere. Honestly, that David Icke and Piers Corbyn are the headline speakers at an anti-lockdown rally is a sure sign that any attempt or any chance you had of protest or opposition succeeding are doomed. These people might as well be, promoting witchcraft and voodoo. They're really that far gone. And so that's how opposition is painted. Anyone opposing the government's lockdown or testing or vaccine is of course a tinfoil hat wearing crazy loon fuck, just like David Icke and Piers Morgan. That's who you're with. That's who you are with. You might as well be marching along the Instagram and Facebook and WhatsApp with Piers Corbyn and David Icke singing about 5G and aliens, you fucking morons. Honestly, disassociate yourself from these twats. Amazon unveils a security drone to fly inside your home. For many people, it will simply be another useful device from a giant corporation who wants to listen and watch your every move. Amazon unveiled its latest addition to its range of home security/surveillance devices in the shape of an indoor camera-equipped drone that can be triggered to take off and fly around your home recording burglars or something. I mean, I don't know anybody who's ever been burgled, but knock yourself out buying that flying plastic thing that records and films your home. The device is to be called the Always On. It's the Always Home Cam. And you should get one. You should get one no matter what the damage to the planet or the connections to a giant database recording your every part of life. Here's a nice story. Teenager stages ice floe protest in the Arctic. One teenager Maya Rose Craig braved the freezing temperatures to stage the world's most northerly climate strike yesterday, raising her placard on an ice floe at the edge of the Arctic Circle. Now, I don't want to disillusion this young person who thinks they could do shit about the climate catastrophe. So I'm not going to. Good on you. Good on you. Doing something. I hope you feel better. But the idea of teenage protests against climate change makes me think, what are teenagers really going to do to annoy the rest of the generation? What are they going to do about climate change? Not get laid, not do drugs, not tidy their rooms? What can teenagers do? They don't have fuck all. Teenagers can't protest meaningfully. What are they going to do? Go on strike and refuse to deliver newspapers in the morning? Teenagers are not going to change the world's direction. Here's another fucking piece of pish story. Boris Johnson's girlfriend, who's just popped out another bovine eater, she's helping to ban the import of wild animal fur, signalling a commitment of the UK government to higher animal welfare standards. Because animal fur is a real big problem, isn't it? I was just chewing down on a burger the other day and thinking, I'm glad this burger didn't come, rimmed in a nice bit of mink or some rabbit fur, because it would be horrible if we were farming animals to decorate people's clothing as opposed to just feed them. What about Doc Martens? That's an animal skin. Do you think we're going to stop farming Doc Marten animals? Are we fuck? What a pointless piece of virtue signalling pish. In foreign news, Donald Trump has refused to commit to a peaceful transfer of power, ensuring already the result of the American election is a foregone conclusion. It really is. It's a foregone conclusion. It will be litigation and protest. That's the result. And also, the winner of the American election eventually will be a total fucking twat. Honestly, don't vote for either of them. If you believe for a moment that either of these people represents your interests or has, what you want at heart, then you're a fucking moron. Honestly. Britain's national debt. UK looks in poor shape for recovery. Economic growth is the way to mitigate a wide range of ills. However, the economy is likely to shrink by 12% and is unlikely to recover quickly. So you can look forward to no growth, poverty, unemployment, rising food prices, and more hunger. There are already 5 million children in this country living in food poverty. And if you're one of the families who are experiencing that, you have my sympathy. But I can assure you, it's not going to get any better. Don't look for it. Don't look for it. I suggest you find yourself a community of like-minded people and start working to help each other, because nobody is coming to your rescue. Nobody. Shit's going to get worse, and you are going to sink deeper into the dew. Two-thirds of people say the Duke and Duchess of Sussex should not keep their titles. This is Harry and Meghan, who've moved to America, where they're extolling the American people to vote against hate. I don't know what is that on the ballot? I don't know. These same people no doubt think that we should keep feeding Eugenie, who's having a baby, Princess Eugenie. The Queen is delighted, and Prince Andrew said he's looking forward to taking her out for pizza when she's 16, or maybe 15. Here's a headline, I like this. The headline reads, Biden's low-key campaign causes Democrats to fret. But I think it ought to say, Biden's low IQ causes Democrats to fret. Joe Biden has run a very low-key campaign. He has no events planned for the next couple of days. And we are on the apron of allegedly one of the most important elections in American history. Joe Biden cannot be seen or heard because he's a mumbling fucking buffoon who is losing his wits. I predict, again, I'll give you $10 if this doesn't happen, Donald Trump will kick his ass up and down the debates. He will. Donald Trump is a street-crawling predator. He will eat him alive. Joe Biden will come over as a bumbling fool. And there's every chance, based upon those debate performances, that Donald Trump will. Biden refuse the debates. Today it's news to me, Piz. I haven't caught up on that. Here's a story from Argentina. An MP in Argentina has been suspended after live on camera during a virtual session of the country's House of Congress, he pulled his partner's dress down. I'd like to see more pornography in government. I really would. I think you can probably tell a lot about a person by their sexual peccadillos. So, you know, does Boris Johnson like having, does he like having his face sat on? Is he doggy style, missionary style? Is he eating the furry cup? You know, is he like back it up motherfucker kind of guy? I think we should know, in the interests of, you know, full disclosure. That's the kind of full disclosure I would like. And finally, migrants sent back in life rafts, which is ironic, isn't it? Shortly after reaching the Greek island of Lesbos, a group of Afghan migrants were beaten by the Greek police and shoved into life rafts, pushed back at sea and abandoned. I like that. I mean, I don't like it like it's a good thing to do, but I like the irony of it. You think you're escaping to a new life in Europe where you know life will be better and there'll be less harsh treatment and cruelty, and you were wrong, because Europe has decided fuck you. Europe has decided fuck you. You should die in your millions and be buried at sea. The people of Europe don't want to know. We're so afraid of dying from a bug that wouldn't kill my elderly grandmother who's already dead. You think we can spare some empathy for you? We're trying to escape from bombing and poverty and the oppressive government. Fuck you. Fuck you. We've got enough razor wire for the whole planet. Stay there in the desert and starve to death with your tongue hanging out on the acrid, baked soil of an uninhabitable earth. Or drown at sea and disappear from our sight permanently, because we don't give a fuck. And on that happy note, just to recap then, your government are lying, murdering scumbags who have concocted a story about a fearful consequence that you might suffer from a virus which isn't killing almost anybody anywhere, and as a result they're stripping you of your freedoms so they can take complete control of your life, so that you will accept your impoverished and short future. You know, you may be fine in Canada. I keep saying this. You know, if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, honestly, you'll be fine. You'll get to watch people dying in their billions on 4K television while you buy a flying drone camera from Amazon that can film you jerking off to Argentinian MPs exposing the pert breasts of their mistress on YouTube. Woo! What a future. I'm off to guzzle down some Coca-Cola and piss on the graves of the babies, on the baby of hope, which has been buried in a shallow grave on planet Earth. Have a great day. I know I'm going to.